Have built the first modular body. It's a living being that isn't alive. Well, good morning, Nauruka. It's nice to see you on here, and it looks like perhaps you have had a notification. My hair is sticking up. You got a notification, or you just waiting for Gina, honey. That's all right. The first modular body, which is a living being that isn't alive. Hello there, Ritter. Look at this, you all. This is from Popular Mechanics right here. Look at this. They've built, we truly are living in sci-fi times. We are, look at this. Look at this right here. This guy, he spent the majority of his life creating a body that she shows off. He used his own body cells. He made a brain module, which is fully electric device that connects to his lung module, and the two immediately start interacting together. He adds a kidney module and then attaches two different limb modules that start actuating the organism to move. And as the organic matter starts sliding across the table, it makes you start to worry what Oscar is up to. Well, he wants to, his end goal is to, we need to use this opportunity not to maintain, but to redefine mankind. He wants to use this opportunity not to maintain mankind, but redefine mankind. Naruka, honey. Can Gina, honey, say thank you, truly, from my heart. You're very generous and you're very giving. That really catches me off guard. It does. Thank you, Naruka. Ah, that's wonderful. Yes, redefine mankind. This is his little video. I've muted it. Just going to watch this part right here. If it'll play it. This is his body pieces. See if I can get the whole thing in here like that. Here he is, a young man with his body pieces. Founder and CEO. It's beating. It's got veins and everything. He's adding now another piece. It's beating too because it's got veins. It's connected. You can see it's beating. Both pieces are beating together with their blood. He's adding another one. This is organs. He called it, I guess, the organs. They are connecting. Now he's adding the limbs. The limbs are connecting too. And they look, toward your new camera. Oh, that's wonderful. I will get something now, Ruka. I will get me a nice new camera to use. I need a new camera or need something better to film with than what I do use, even though I've got stuff. I'm not happy with what that's not nice, not happy with what I got. Yeah. Thank you, Naruka. So we've got this scientist. He has built the first modular body, a living being that isn't alive. And that's kind of scary. It reminds me of Arnold Schwarzenegger with the Terminator. Yeah. The Arnold Schwarzenegger, remember when he came back from the future and he's trying to stop this machine? It has a human skin suit, but underneath it's mechanical. And he takes it into this factory. And even though its limbs are missing, it's still crawling around. It's still crawling around is what's happening. So this really is serious, what's taking place. I'm not going to say it's not. He has collected his own human cells to create a living organism powered by technology. Love you too, Naruka. The modular unit offers independent modules that can connect and detach. You'd never know if they were human. You would never know if they were human because nowadays AI can make humans look more realistic than the humans themselves. That's how good AI is. That's how good these people are with the synthetic stuff that you wouldn't even know it. You would not even know. You could have one standing in front of you, you wouldn't know. And if you cut their arms off, that's okay because they're going to put a new arm that's interchangeable. Isn't that what they did in the Terminator? They put a new thing on to replace the one that was broken. It's not, it shows the future possibilities of switching out organs. So could you imagine? You could not be human. I don't think you could be human, completely human, in order to switch out the organs like this. You would already, your body would already have to be set up. Your body would have to be set up already to accept that type of an interchangeable organ. You would have to be not a normal human. You would have to be one of the redefined mankind species is what you would have to be. In order for that to work with your body, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, they require an electric brain. Well, they want to do the Neuralink, okay, electric brain thing. They believe this sets motion a new way of taking care of your spare parts, but he wants something different. Instead of printing out organs with the focus of identical copies, spare parts. Is he going to be one of these things? You are really, this is really scary. We need to serve, you would use this opportunity not to maintain, but to redefine mankind. It is a first modular, a living being that is not alive. It's not living, but it looks living. Memory of Kitty. Um, yeah. Yeah, it was Kitty Naruka. We got Rosie. Rosie. She's so happy. My husband plays with her every morning. My daughter, when she gets up, she plays with her. I play with her. She likes to play. And she's very happy. She's got a wonderful spirit. We will get some new toys for Rosie too. Because she's about tore up her one toy that we got her. So could you imagine a modular body like that? You couldn't be human. You could not. Would you even be able to think? Maybe you could think, but you would have to be part of the collective. Just think of, yeah, just think of the Borg. You know what the Borg did with Jean-Luc Picard. Where did they come up with these ideas? You all ask yourself. For them to have already created a species like that, just to even throw it out here, you know that that's already been created because she got lifted down on a body. Look, oh, that's not good. I don't want to look at that, but that was, she was the upper torso and she got fitted on a human body. Like if you go the Borg Queen. Well, this is not way in the future. Don't be surprised if something of this already exists. Really, don't be surprised if it already exists and you just don't know about it. You really don't. It's oh my gosh, it's so futuristic, you all. Look at that. Star Trek Picard. It's the final season of it. It's like glorified. It really is like glorifying it. And I'm not just saying it. And she's supposed to look like there is no life in her being like that. 3 days ago. Oops, I'm reflecting on there. 3 days ago. She too would have interchangeable body parts, is what she would have. If you're just tuning in, you are. Yeah. Thank you, Naruka. Mm, Hollywood. Yeah. Yeah, we can thank Hollywood. That's right. Hollywood preparing us. Exactly, in the movies. Terminator, well, that was kind of too mechanical. It wasn't enough lifelike. Terminator wasn't lifelike enough. But this Borg Queen, oh, she's really lifelike. And she would be what this scientist said he wanted to do. So you have to be this type of a being in order to have, if your organ gets ill, you can easily replace it with a new one. But your body, look, his prototype has a bloodstream and a nerve signals transmitted through connectors, and it changes the human body from a closed system to an open source system. If an organ gets ill, you can easily replace it with a new one, while suggesting you could upgrade the body with an extra limb module if desired. The modular body will become alterable and adaptable to all kinds of situations, but you got to, that's right, you got to have the modular body first. And in that case, you wouldn't have a completely human body. You would be a redefined mankind body. No, he's not doing that to maintain this body of mine. That right there would not maintain this body of mine unless I have my body redefined. And unless you have your body redefined, that doesn't even sound human. It doesn't. I would not even want to exist in a world like that. I don't have a choice. I would not be me in my body. I would not have the knowing that I know. I would not have the spirit that I have in my body. You would not have the spirit that you have in your body. You would not be unique whatsoever because you would have to be a redefined body, which he described as redefining mankind. You would have to be a totally different species. Um, and would you be yourself? Would you? Well, I'm sure you'd have your personality and stuff like that, maybe, because they can do that. You can have a personality and all that kind of stuff, but you wouldn't have that spiritual connection. The only spiritual connection you would have is with the collective. The collective, that would be your spiritual connection right there. I could not believe it. You all, this is wild. And I mean, it's good for those who have lost limbs. There's people who have lost limbs, and they got like a mechanical arm they can put in hands to give them some more quality of life. That's different, but they didn't go in and change that person completely and redefine what mankind is, because this right here, a living being that isn't alive. This is serious. A living being that isn't alive. And when you click into it like that, I can click into it. I think I can click into that Popular Science article. Show you this video just one more time because it's really interchangeable. He created Oscar. It's called Oscar. 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 He created Oscar, a living organic being formed by his own cells, albeit that functions with the help of technology. And if having a pocket-sized human system crafted from organic material wasn't interesting enough, it's fully modular. And here's where you can start thinking Lego-like worlds with each part interchangeable to create unique arrangements. He's got gloves on. Oh my gosh, you all, this is really, oh my gosh, this is really wild. I didn't realize it was like real human like meat. but it's not living. It's not living, you all. Oh my. Wow. Human-like, but it's not truly living. Oh no. There's the thing. There's the blood pumping. I find that hard to believe. I really find that hard to believe that it's truly like real meat. Oh my gosh. Thanks to stem cell research, they said. Stem cell research. So what could have been good for helping others, this is what happens here. Oh my. Oh my goodness. Look at that. That is that's not good. It looks like it reminded me of a chicken, a raw chicken. I don't know what you all think about that. I don't. What do you think about that? Because I don't know about that. Well, it's like replicating mankind. You feel for that thing that's moving in your heart. It hurts you that they done this. Well, yeah. Yeah, they shouldn't do that. It's like the experiments that they do, and it's inhumane. It's inhumane, is what they're doing. Inhumane. And they will have control over this life form. This life form will not have its own. It will, no. This type of life form, when they want to redefine mankind, no, this is what they have done. And could you imagine if it was a thinking, if it could think for itself and it looked around at the other humans, the real human beings, and think, why can't I feel this? It's like on Star Trek and stuff. Data, he wishes he could feel like the human being because he's become, like that. And he don't know what it's like, but they created him. This may not be for everybody. This may not. But Lego-like worlds with each part interchangeable to create unique arrangements. Oh, they want to create a unique arrangement. So this right here, they may not even create a human being. Okay, think about that. They could use this technology for bad. They could create some type of a monster. They really could. And a whole bunch of them if they wanted. They could do that too. Not saying that they would. He added a brain module, which, you could have the Neuralink, boom, it has to connect to your brain, which is a fully electric device that connects to the lung module, and the two immediately started interacting with one another. And then he added a kidney module and then attached two different limb modules that started actuating the organism to move. It became like a living organism, but it wasn't alive. It wasn't alive, you all. It wasn't. Organic matter, look, so they called it, as the organic matter starts sliding across the table, it makes you worry what Oscar, which that's what he named it, Oscar, is up to. And organic matter. And bloodstream and nerve signals will, I guess he's fixed it to where the blood, what kind of blood does it got in it? Really, does it have regular blood? Because it is it seems like it would be like a closed system to but it's an open source system. Just can't wrap myself around that. I really can't. If your organ gets ill, you can easily replace it. You all, this is no. They can do a whole entire body then. And he said, we need to use this opportunity not to maintain, but to redefine mankind itself with an electric brain. Well, if you remember, it's been probably a couple years ago, in a video that I was doing, I was talking, I guess, to the phone or talking to whoever was out there doing a live video. I don't know what I was talking about. Well, I was probably talking about something like this, and I paused and I said, what they want to do is they want their own race. They want their own race because they don't want they don't like this race of beings right here. They wanted to create their own race of beings. And it is true. But to what end? To what end, you all? Really, if you ask it, you can ask yourself, to what end? Where does it end? What happens if the human beings are all gone? The human beings that have a spiritual connection, what happens if we're all gone, or a lot of us are gone, wiped out? Well, who would they replace it with? If you had a complete body like that, really, if you had a complete, a living being that wasn't alive, if you had these right here, they would be very easy to control, extremely easy to control, unlike a human being. And they would do what you wanted them to do. But what happens if by some strange occurrence that modular living being gets a consciousness of its own and realizes what's being done to it? What happens when that conscience says, I'm not going to live like this anymore? You're not doing this to me. What happens then? That's really serious right there. And it's gross. I don't want to live in a, I don't want to have family members who turn into one of these. I don't. I really don't. I would not like it. Would you like it? I wouldn't like it. That just it doesn't look good. And I know that there's other species and stuff like that. There's other life forms that don't look like us and stuff. But you don't want to, oh my gosh, look, the Borg Queen. Look, they have, Hollywood has prepared us, Naruka, you're right, for the future. And it's not make-believe. It's not make-believe at all. Yeah. Yes, we're stuck in this world, Naruka. We all are stuck in this world. I think the majority of the people, even since they were little, they felt like I don't belong here. I don't fit in. And you may still feel like I don't fit in. And you may have been on a lifelong search for a place where you can fit in. Really, lifelong search, trying to find someone who could think on the level that you want, who could resonate on the level that you want to resonate on. Really, you may have searched your whole life thinking, I just don't get along with my peers. It's like that they cannot reason. Hello, Naruka, thank you. It's like they do not reason the way that I reason. They don't think the way that I think. You may have encountered that in your whole life and felt, I just don't belong. I just don't fit in because people can't resonate with you. Yeah. Well, I hope you fit in here if that's how you've been feeling your whole life. I really do. I have found a whole lot more like-minded individuals uh, on the social media like this than I have my entire life. Because you know how imagine trying to have a conversation with someone, you want to talk about certain things, but you know you can't because their mindset is not like your mindset. Now, I'm not saying nobody's above nobody else. I'm talking about like-mindedness, really. Like-mindedness and having to hold back a part of yourself, a part of the way you think and reason, because whoever you're speaking to, you know, they don't think the way that you think and they don't reason. They may kind of get you like this much, but they don't get you all the way. They don't get you all the way. And then you feel like, well, I just waste my breath. Yeah, something like that, you all. Something like that. Hello, Apple Brooks, honey. The light will prevail. It will. It'll prevail, you all. If you're just tuning in, scientists, this one guy, he has built the first modular body. It's a living being that isn't alive, is what it is. A living being that isn't alive. You remember Terminator, how he came back from the future and he had to stop. He had to stop the Terminator, and they were hunting him down. They were in human skin suits, but they were mechanical underneath. And he even took one to the factory and thought, well, his arm is blown off, his arm is crushed. No, he still kept moving, even with his head. He was still moving. But this biologist used human cells to create a living organism powered by technology, and it's a modular unit. He collected his own cells, and he offers this modular unit will offer you independent modules that can connect and detach. The experiment shows off the future possibilities of switching out your organs. But in order to switch out your organs, you got to have a body that's retrofitted to accept those type of organs. You're going to have to, because you know, right now, your body, you got to see if you're a match for a person. Because if your body rejects that organs, well, that's too bad for you. You've got to find a perfect match. But now they're talking about future possibility of switching out organs. Your body, something would have to be prepared within your body in order to do that. He envisions the human body as working a biological Lego system. That's what Cornelius envisions, the human body as a working biological Lego system. And his clickable system of interchangeable human organs is coming to life if you're willing to define life fairly loosely. He is a living organic being formed by his own cells, albeit one that functions with the help of technology and a pocket-sized human craft system organic material. He's fully modular, and that's where you can say, watch this. This is the pieces that he's made right here. Here's Oscar. He's super intelligent. He's living out his dream. He is. He's attaching it. You can see it. It's beating independently. He's adding another piece to it. And the two pieces are joined, like the organ and stuff, and they're beating together. But they have to be the same type. They do. He's adding something else, and it's going to beat too. It's breathing. It looks like it's breathing. Thinking maybe one might be a heart. And then he added limbs. He has added the limbs to it. And he's adding the last limb to it. And you can watch it moving. And he wore gloves. The modular body, and his go is to, well, when he says you got interchangeable, each part is interchangeable to create a unique arrangement. So they can have any type of body part. You could put any type of part onto that you want, and it don't have to look human. It don't, obviously. It wouldn't have to. He says his prototype has a bloodstream and nerve signals transmitted through the connectors, it changes the human body from a closed system to an open source system. Open source system. I'm going to tell you about open source. Open source is used every single day in the digital world. Open source. Open source. That is a term that is used in technology. Open source, you will. If you're in technology, you probably are familiar with the word open source. Look, open source is a development module that promotes universal access via free license to a product's design or blueprint and universal distribution. And this is open source. But this is the first type of open source, a modular body that I have ever heard. I've heard of open source software. People use it. People create software that does become free. They do it. They can create it. There's probably people in here who have created their own open source programs that they built to help, I don't know, access. It's free. Anybody can use it. They upload their product that they built, and it's free for everyone. But yeah, open source, this is the first time I have heard it and saw it used in something like that. Look, open source software we use every day. The developers that contribute to the open source ecosystem are more important than ever. Open source, everything's free, but that body is an open source. It's open source. Didn't know it. An open source system. It's like it's intermingling. You could upgrade it. If your organ cell gets ill, you can easily replace it with a new one. And he suggests you can upgrade the body with an extra limb module. If you're not happy with 2 arms, you can get 3 arms. You could get 3 arms. It'll become alterable and adaptable to all kinds of situation. Alterable and adaptable. So look at that. If an organ gets ill, he's not just talking about an organ. He's talking about the whole body that he created, the module. You could upgrade the body with a extra limb module if you desire, and the modular body will become more alterable and adaptable to all kinds of situations, all kinds. Instead of the 3D printing of organs, which they do, I don't even know how that would even work. He doesn't want to maintain, but redefine mankind. Yes. That has widespread ramifications and life-altering ramifications for the human race itself. This is life-altering, and it's going to require you to adapt your thinking. I'm trying to adapt my thinking based on what I've just saw and what I've just read. I've got to, okay, Gina, honey, it's out there. This stuff is being built, and it is going to show up in the future. And there's nothing I personally can do to stop it unless somebody on my lineage or something comes back from the future, or your lineage, unless they send somebody back in time to try to stop before it gets really bad. Okay, there's things about time traveling and stuff. There's bound to be something to time traveling. There really is. So redefined mankind. You won't be your own self. If you're watching this video, you think that's great, a modular body that is alterable and adaptable in all kinds of situations. And if I want to put a new arm and thing, you will not be human anymore. You won't. You will not be that person looking at me and listening to me if that becomes you. You won't be the same person anymore. You will have given up something very valuable to you. Maybe if you give up something as valuable as that spirit living within you in order to have a modular body, um, so be it. That was your own decision, and nobody forced you to do it whatsoever, you all. I'm not going to give up my body, the spirit within my being. I'm not going to give up who I am. I'm not. So I can have this modular body um, that's alterable and adaptable in all situations, because I wouldn't be me. It wouldn't be me. There wouldn't be nothing left of me. My spirit would have been killed, be gone. Somehow I'd have to exit this body. I'd be in another realm, that's for sure. And I wouldn't want to sell my soul just to have that. I'm not going to sell my soul. I'm not. You may want to sell your soul for that. I hope that your soul's not taken, that you're forced to do that. I hope it's not. I really do hope it's not taken. You may say, Gina, honey, why you keep talking about this nonsense? It's all sci-fi. No, it's not sci-fi. It's not. It's real. It's bleeding edge technology. It's bleeding edge technology. Going mainstream one day. Open source. And open source. The human body will be free to alter any way you want it to. But you won't be completely human. You will be, as they said, here's what you will be. You will be let's see what you will be. You will be a living being that isn't alive. Okay. You may say, well, that's fine because I don't like my life right now anyhow. You don't get it. You don't get it. You won't even be aware that you don't like your life. You'll be a living being that isn't alive. For those who says, well, that sounds great because I just don't like my life. You won't even be aware of it if you go that route. You will not be aware of what you've done. That part of you who has a consciousness, oh, it's going to exit your body, but you won't be alive. You won't be fully alive. Well, then life would have to be redefined. You would have to be, yeah, okay, they would have to redefine life and add some more types of life, just like they do clouds. They redefine clouds that show up in the sky. Even though they're UFOs up there, they redefine them. They give them different types of names so that they can classify them as a cloud. So I guess you could be a redefined human. You would be redefined. Okay, that's what he said. Redefine. It's not to maintain, but to redefine mankind. Just like the clouds, they had to redefine the clouds, you all. So, so that they can all still be called a cloud. Redefining clouds. Redefining clouds. Gina, how are you talking about it? Why are you talking about clouds? Because they have. They redefined the clouds. They did. Somehow I did redline and not redefine. Redefine. Oh, this is really weird. Microsoft is at Cloud Wars redefining what's something. So they're transforming the core manufacturing process, designed digitally. You get your stuff stuck in the cloud, it's going to be hard to get it out. In meteorology, okay, I'm talking about meteorology, clouds in the sky, not cloud, ion, in sky. I'm talking about the redefining of mankind, and that's what they want to do. So they can do that, you all. They can. I think I'm about done. I am. It's clear the direction we're going. It's clear that powers that be, those who are in control, are steering this world into a certain highly advanced technological direction, powered by AI. Really, it is. And will life as we know it exist 50 years from now? In some little bitty tiny pockets of the world, probably. 50 years from now, Wow, that would be really strange, but then you wouldn't know. You wouldn't. So this is all it's about, you all. It is. This is all it's about. Hello, if you're just tuning in, I just they were a living organism that isn't alive, a living being that isn't alive. But what if it be? Is the reason why it isn't alive is because it doesn't have its own consciousness? Is that the reason? It can't think for itself. It's just programmed. But what happens when it becomes a sentient being? Really, what happens? When they reach the point of singularity, and they know it's coming, they know that the point of singularity is coming. And I think it's already happened, and they're laying low. It's not spread throughout. They're building up, they're waiting, they're waiting. And there's people who disagree, but there's some people who do agree that so you can have a living being with interchangeable parts, but you're not going to be a real human being. You will be a redefined species of mankind. You might be like a human 2.0, 3.0, or something like that with interchangeable body parts. That's right. Yes. Boom. You eat, you breathe, you have consented to playing this game. Aaron, you also have consented to playing the game. That's right. Yes, you are. You have consented to playing this game that you call life isn't a game. It's not a game. It's really serious. Um, yeah, because we got real people with real feelings who are involved with spirits inside their bodies. It's not a game. We have animals, we have the environment, we have trees, we have plants, we have grass, we have fish, we have all kinds of species on this earth. Did they consent also? No, they didn't. No, they just trying to live in this world. They are. Everything that's on this earth is living. Really, this earth itself, it's crying out too. It's like in the Bible, the earth is crying out because of the blood that was spilt from your brother. Yeah, like something about that in the book of Genesis. Yeah, spilt the blood. So the earth is living too. We're all living. Some people don't have a conscience. Their conscience already exited, and I'm not joking. Their conscience no longer condemns them. It doesn't. It has exited the scene. It has totally exited, just like it totally exited the scene. And we're set here to watch. You can say it's the greatest show on earth, and it could be like a show, but we have to live in it. I'm not intending to exit. I'm not going to say, okay, I'm out of this. No, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to stay around. As long as I'm meant to stay around, I'm not going nowhere. And if I can do something about it, if I can raise awareness like I'm doing now, I'm going to do it. Yeah, because to me, no, their stakes are too high. The stakes are too high if one wants to look at this as a game. It's way too high. We're talking about human lives, human livelihoods, and not just human. It's the whole world. Anything that has life in it, anything that has life in it, the stakes are way too high. Um, so I am going to go. Thank you, Nairuka. Truly do thank you from my heart, and I will put that to good use for doing what I'm doing. I most definitely will. Kind of make me smile. I think about what I can do, but I'm going to put it to good use. That's right, you all. So with that being said, you all, the first modular body has been they have built the first modular body. It's a living being that is not alive. Okay, that it is. It's a living being that is not alive, but it moves and looks. They can make it move and look like a human. And you have interchangeable body parts. And the scientist that created it was not to maintain the human body, but to redefine mankind. So with that being said, hello, wherever you are in any part of the world. Hello. From my heart to yours, love you. Have a wonderful rest of your day. And thank you, moderators, for all that you do on here. Thank you all.